So, hello guys, and welcome to another edition of Rage Against the Dice. Today, we are going to be looking at Middle-earth strategy battle games, Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, battle companies. Now, this is their new, it's the new battle companies system that we've been talking about quite a bit, because I'm very, very excited by it. In this, you take a small warband, usually between, I think 5's the least, up to 12 with hobbits, which is the most, and goblins, I think, are 12 as well. And yeah, it's as you would assume. You fight them, you level them up, that kind of thing, along the lines of Necromunda, Mordheim, and those kind of things. So let's dive straight in with it. I'm just going to let you have a look at that. See, it gives you the beautiful map of Middle-earth, and then you've just got, after that, you've just got your normal front page. So that is beautiful. The quality of this book's really, really good as well. It's hardback. Flip it over, you've got your contents, little preface, tells you how you muster your warband. So you gather your force, and there's a little chart for that, and we'll have a look at them. Then you play a game, then you do injuries, and then you do experience afterwards. So everybody levels up. Then you do your influence, then you calculate your battle company's rating. And it uses the normal Lord of the Rings system. So if you've played Lord of the Rings before, you'll be fully versed in how it works. So if you are interested in it, you've got your old rule books. It's very easy. You just pick up this book. If you've already got models, you can probably work out where you... Sorry, my apologies. I got too excited by this book and caused myself to cough. So yes, this is the injury chart anyway. So you have warriors and heroes, and they roll on a separate chart, and it's a 2d6. We're not going to look at it in too much detail because I want you guys to buy the book. Then you've got experience. Now your warriors roll on a progression chart. 1 to 3, nothing happens. 4 to 5, they get promoted. And 6, they become a hero in the making in their own right. And then, you know, there's little rules and stuff. As I said, I want to show you what's in the book, but I don't want to read it word for word because I want you all to buy it. I want this game to be big again. And they are obviously doing stuff with it this year, with this coming out, and then there's some new Morgul Knights, which are beautiful from Forge World. I do hope in the coming months to maybe get some and do an evil list, which would potentially be the one that I take to GT, which is Grand Tournament in 2019, because the Grand Tournament's happening at the end of this month, so I'm probably a little late for it now since all the tickets are sold out. But anyway, heroes, they roll in a separate chart, so you pick one of these. If you're good, obviously you can't pick the evil, it says there specifically, and likewise if you're evil you can't pick the good. But you pick on that, and then you roll a d6, and then whatever you get is what you get. And it's different things. You can learn special skills, you can get terror, you can get extra might, will, and fate. And then you have war gear, and you use influence points, which you earn throughout your games, to buy these war gear. And you can only buy stuff that your warband has already unlocked. So if you want to buy, say, a horse or a warg for your Rohan or your Isengard, respectively, you would need to have already unlocked someone with a horse or a warg. And that's something we'll go into when we go into the campaign in more details. But then you've got equipment like concealing cloaks, poisoned arrows, hunting dogs, that kind of thing. And they have their own little profile and they go on your sheet. But as it says here, it does say it somewhere. Yeah, so they don't count, they don't take up space within your battle company. So like if you're a hobbit and you've got 25 heroes, which is the most models they can have, you could technically take 25 dogs. It's implausible, but I suppose it could happen. And then you got a load of different things here, and then you come to the actual lists themselves. So I'm not going to show you oh, my apologies, I'm coughing a lot today, so I'll not show you them all, or I'll not show you the charts for them all anyway. But this is Minas Tirith. This is what you start with. So you start with 2 warriors of Minas Tirith with shield, 2 warriors of Minas Tirith with spear and shield, and then 2 warriors of Minas Tirith with bows. This still adheres to a third of your models. You can only have up to a third of your models with bows as well. So yeah, and then you get in advancements. So advancements, warriors of Minas Tirith with shields, when they roll to upgrade, they become Knights of Minas Tirith with shield. Warriors of Minas Tirith with spear and shield become Citadel Guard with spears. And warriors with a bow become Rangers of Gondor. This is where with some of the armies, it can be all warbands, it can become expensive, because you can buy a box of Minas Tirith warriors and you've got all that you need for that doubled. So you can make 2 warbands, or you've got that plus reinforcements. But then as you roll on charts and things, upgrade, you would then have to buy different models. So here you'd have to buy Rangers, there you'd need Citadel Guard, and there you'd need Knights, so guys on horses, potentially. And then what happens is when you have influence, which is what we were talking about before, you can spend that influence to roll on this reinforcement chart. And it costs 3 influence to do, and then you can use influence to change the result. So for instance, if you rolled a 1, which is terrible, you get nothing, you could spend 2 influence, for instance, to move it up to a warrior of Minas Tirith with a shield and spear. Likewise, if you rolled a 5, which is a Minas Tirith with a choice of weaponry, you could spend 1 to move it up to the special chart, which is a special chart below. And here you can have a Ranger of Gondor, Citadel Guard, Guard of the Founding Court, and then a Knight of Minas Tirith. And then 6 choose any of your choice. So again, you need to have these models to be able to upgrade them. Now, you can do a lot of converting and stuff like that, so you can have some very unique warbands. And there are some pictures of people's warbands in here that look really, really cool. And then each army-specific hero upgrade, for every army has one. And with this, it's for the White City. This model gains a bonus +1 to its fight value on a turn in which it charges. So that's really cool. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the other factions. We're not going to go into their lists, because again, I want you to buy the book. We may cover them individually, but there's already STF Wargaming, I believe it is, have already done that, and they've done it far better than we would be able to. It's a really, really good resource. So I'll put their link in the description below. If you want to check theirs out in more detail, you can. These are the different ones. So you've got Fiefdoms, Rohan, Arno, Lake Town, Rivendell, Lothlorien, the Halls of Thandril, Durin's Folk, Iron Hills, My Bad Boys, the Shire. Then you have the Evil, which is Mordor, Isengard, Harad, Far Harad, so further away, Moria, Warg Riders, Easterlings, Dol Guldur, Goblin Town, Angmar, Corsairs of Umbar. And then you come on to the scenarios, but there are one they have printed. I think at this point it's 2 in White Dwarf and 2 more are coming. And I'm hoping they eventually become PDFs on the community page or something like that, so you can get them for those who missed the White Dwarf. If you did miss the White Dwarf, your local Games Workshop might still have some in stock. If they don't, you can usually find it on eBay dead cheap, because people just get rid of their White Dwarfs, not realising what's in it's really important or really valuable to certain people. I know usually if I was missing a White Dwarf before I started to subscribe to it, I could usually pick up a back issue White Dwarf for half the price of what the White Dwarf would be normally. So it's pretty good. And if you're lucky, you can get it even cheaper than that. But again, that's all down to where you're looking and such. But yeah, so the way this works is you first roll a D6. And on a 1 to 3, you would then choose from this chart, and on a 4 to 6, you choose from that chart. So say you rolled a 2, you'd then roll a D6 on this chart. You'd roll it again, and you got a 4, for instance. It would be Infiltrate and Assassinate, and then you'd go to the particular mission. And we'll take that particular mission, because it's quite a long one. So you can see it shows you here how the battle would be set up. It tells you how you start positions, it tells you your objectives, it tells you your attacker and defenders' victory conditions, it gives you any special rules, anything like that. And then at the bottom, if there's any bonuses that you get for winning or losing, it will tell you those as well. So we're not going to look at all of those, but you can see there's a load, there's 12 scenarios, and of course you could make up your own if you wanted. And I'm sure they're going to bring out more supplements with extras in and stuff like that, but then it gives you a little bit about it, about each one. It tells you how like forests and things like that would work. And then it's got a narrative campaign. Now, this narrative campaign, it should really be done with good, and I'm hoping they bring out one for bad as well, and it shows you how to set up your scenery and things like that. So it's using a lot of the scenery that already exists, as well as obviously you could use your own still, but this is using a lot of the Lake Town stuff. But yeah, and so for that you get 5 scenarios in this narrative campaign, which is really cool. It's a little extra. And then this is what I really like. It shows you the different people's specific, their battle company. So this is Adam Troke's Rohan, and it's beautiful. And this is what made me want to do a Rohan one for a while. And I had some Rohan models anyway, so I did build up a Rohan force, but then I as always, I had a couple of hobbits lying around, and that set me off on a path. Yes, then you've got Jays Isengard, Nick's Minas Tirith, Rob McFarlane's Mordor. Yes, you've got a lot in here. We're not going to go through too many of them. But yeah, so these are really, really nice. This book in itself is fantastic. It doesn't have stats and things like that in, so you do need your book for your particular force. I suppose you could use something like Battle Scribe or something like that, but they're often wrong. So I would definitely recommend buying your book. You can still get them on Games Workshop's website, but your local stores might actually have them in. I know our local store does have a few. And, different stores are different, and when they send stock back is different. So you might get lucky, you might not, but it's always worth the ask. And it tells you how to use your battle companies in larger games, which is really, really cool. This is one of my favourite things. So after you've played some games with your battle company, taking them on quests and forming attachments to the members of your company, you may also wish to see how they would fare in standard points match games. This is absolutely fine and well worth trying out in your friendly games. Once both you and your opponent have agreed to this, of course, working out the points value for your battle company is simple. Just follow the same rules that are outlined in the Calculate Your Battle Company's rating section of page 7. There are also a few extra things that you should note when using your battle company to your game. When deploying your battle company, treat the whole company as a single warband, with its captain being the leader of the battle company. Ignore the normal restrictions on building a warband. Your battle company will count as being from the same army list as where their heroes and warriors are from for the purposes of allies. Example, a Minas Tirith battle company will count as being from Minas Tirith army list. The leader of your battle company may be selected as the army's leader should you wish, and members of your battle company may still generate experience in the same way as described on page 9. So you can get experience in a big game of like the normal Middle-earth strategy battle game to then take back to this, as long as you and the people you're playing with completely agree to it. Which is really, really cool. And then any member of your battle company who was slain will suffer injuries in the same way as described on page 8. So that's awesome. So you've got a battle company, you take it in to your local Games Workshop where you're playing a really big game with some mates. A couple of you guys get experience. A couple of guys die during the fight, though. You still have to roll for them as normal. So that's really cool. And then it says on the next page, an additional match play scenario for use when both players are using their battle companies, and it's called Grand Battle. It's really cool. And then you get the stat sheet itself. Most companies, you're only going to need 2 of these because they've got 8 models per, and most battle companies can only have 15 unless you start adding dogs and things like that. Hobbits are different because they can have up to 25, and obviously that holds 8, so you'll need 4 sheets. So if you're going to print these out, print it off, because you can download it from the website or photocopy it, turn the page over, do the same, so they're double-sided. With most people, that's fine. With Hobbits, you're going to need double that. But no, so this is Battle Companies of Middle-earth. I think it retails at £25 if you're in the UK. Other countries obviously differ depending on what your Games Workshop says, so you can check it out. You go to gamesworkshop.com, you go to The Hobbit, and then you go down the side menu, it says Battle Companies. You click on it, there's special already built up warbands, and also on top of that there's the rulebook in its own section called Rules. I thoroughly recommend it. We've been playing it a lot. We're going to start covering it on the channel a bit. I know Alan and I are going to do some. but also the gaming club, because we started this week. We're playing 3 battles a week. It runs from Monday to Wednesday. I've had 2 of my games. I won my first, I lost my second, and I've got my third on Wednesday, so I will let you know how that goes. We are hoping to film some of them as well. Obviously, we can't film them all, but we're going to film as many as possible. But no, guys, I'm going to leave you at that. I definitely recommend purchasing this, especially if you're into Middle-earth. But as always, like, subscribe, ding the bell. See, if Alan was here today, he'd be able to say that. But he wasn't, because he had to go to jail. Undisclosed reasoning and citation needed. But yes, thank you guys for watching as always, and pray the dice gods hope they smile upon you. Take care.